I prefer the now. So I'm choosing to record um, something that I started speaking about on EarthCam and then thought maybe I should shoot a video because there's probably meta in it. Um, so I made that boomerang table over there. I designed and made that. And I'm going to say this is my home. Birchwood over soundproofing material. I made that. It keeps noise, it seals the noise out from the hall, which I appreciate in this place. I feel the doors are the weak link here. And I made my cutting board, and it is book matched with 15 and 30 degree angles, and that is the first thing that I made when I was left to a woodworking shop by myself. Owner was away, had a B&B, was watching the B&B, and had access to the woodworking shop. And I'm saying that it was an industrious project. And I broke the bandsaw because I was making MDF asterisks with inset galvanized steel screws that I faux finished the top so you can't see the screws, but it serves as a note board or a peg board when you're using a magnet. And I like to use neodymium magnets because they're the strongest. A neodymium for the size can hold like your 70-page notebook that you go to college with. So they hold a lot. In fact, you kind of have to. I've got several neodymium here. I get them in different sizes. It's what I like to use. Anyway, moving on. I made my cutting board. I was not really familiar with woodworking, and I was left alone in a woodworking shop, and I broke the bandsaw, and I fixed it. And how I fixed it is I thought, well, it's broken, and certainly these things break because it's broke, and I'm left alone, so I'm gonna have to figure out if it's broke, think like a person that knows how to fix it, to fix it. So I assessed, there's a panel, and it had a knob, and turned the knob, opened the panel, and I could see that the bandsaw would go through pulleys, and I fed the blade back into it, and then I started fiddling with tension, because I realized, like, what does this do if I turn this? Well, it does that. So I fiddled with tension, and I made it work, and I was able to complete my asterisk and my magneto. There's a 3 before you enter, 3 on 2 rails before you enter my apartment, and my cutting board. I used all the clamps and in the joint, and I had to use I used a joiner, a planer, a table saw, and articulated angles, and I chose 15 and 30 degrees, and I book matched them so that you cut and then you open so they mirror, and then I used end grain, so it's the end, not the stalk of the tree, but the end. End is facing up and down, and why I chose that is because end grained is nicer on the care of your knives to cut with, and then I put a radius on it. So in all that, I had to go look for drills and bits and chucks to get the drill bits out, and I had to go through every drawer in the woodworking shop, and because drill bits and chucks were in 2 separate places, and I didn't have anyone to ask. And I was determined to do this project. And I got it done. And the owner came back, a woodworker who's paid serious money to go to accredited woodworking schools, and he said that he couldn't have done that. I question, if he had the desire. Yes, he could, perhaps. He doesn't like angles. He doesn't like working with angles. So I didn't make a typical cutting board, and I certainly didn't make it from the standpoint of hardly any instruction and experience of being in a woodworking shop. I just figured it out. I had elementary, like that's a table saw, that's a joiner, that's a planer, okay? You're working with a table saw, be aware of the kickback. You're not in the line of fire, okay? Like, okay, I'm good to go. Anyway, where was I? Yes, I'm gonna have something to eat now. So what I'm having? Cucumber. I'm trying to work on this red pepper because it seems like it'd be delicious with some hummus. Where are you? Oh, hummus. And let's see, I do have some fresh scallions, seedless cucumber, and caramelized onion, cheddar cheese from Kilchurn Estate. I think that's UK. Does it say? Product of England. Yeah. Anyway, that's what we're working on. Having a snack. Having a snack to have my back. What else here? This is my first dog, Honey Hound. I gave Honey a middle name, H. Honey H Hound. And this is Mosaic without grout in the Roman Byzantine technique, which I studied in Italy, and did this in Verona with, I believe, Lucia, but I'd have to look that up. It's been a while. Italy. Never been invited to so many people's places for dinner, I have to say. Well, men's places, okay? But I didn't feel threatened. And also, it's on the train, and this guy had a backpack and that I could see, and it was just kind of us in that area, and he asked me if I wanted to see his potatoes. And I'm like, okay, I got this. Non lo so. No lo sé. I studied Italian, so it effed up my Spanish. I don't know is one of those, but I don't know which one it is. But take your pick. I bet you probably know what it means. It means the same thing. I don't know. I don't know if I went to see your potatoes. Now, encouragingly, he really did have little petite fingerling potatoes in his backpack, and he showed me and invited me to a humble dinner at his place. And I thought it was rather cute and amusing. Then hiking Cinque Terre, 5 cities on a cliff. I met 2 guys in a BMW, what they call BMW, and they were one of them was from Genoa, so that's going from Cinque Terre, the 5 cities on a cliff of the ocean, going up towards France. And they asked me, so those 5 cities you can't get to by car. I had hiked behind the city for some reason, and then I got on a highway that's behind the city and dumps into that first of five cities from Genoa. So I don't know where I ran into them, but I got in their car and I didn't watch too much TV if they thought that was going to happen. Anyway, comfortably, nothing could happen. My jeans were too tight or something because I was sitting. And, but I didn't feel threatened because I'm kind of like, try all you want. I'm just going to sit here and be like, non lo so, no lo say, because I know it's not going to happen. Okay. Just, it didn't make me feel, I wasn't threatened. And I wasn't indifferent. I might be slightly amused. Amused is too much of to them it seemed like this was harmless fun. Hey, meet a girl and, get on with it. And I'm kind of like, well, I know my jeans better than you. And I know the seating position of me sitting on your lap because you're in a BMW and now I'm sitting on you. And you're not approaching me with any maliciousness. Like, this should be fun frivolity. And I'm like, you know what? I can entertain that. But like I said, I know my jeans and my seating position, and you're not going to be able to make this happen because I also know the constraints of your vehicle. I can't move out of this position. Okay? So, no, I wasn't threatened. Nothing was going to happen. And we could keep it lighthearted. Like, I'm a big flirt, or whatever you need me to be as I'm passing through. Was I concerned? I showed up one way or another? I don't know. For all I know, I have freedom of access, and I wasn't acting any different than I would in kind of any other situation that I walk into. I usually give it the benefit of the doubt and go with it to a degree until I kind of start pinpointing what is this and what is this. A to B starts giving me trajectory. Oh, now I see what's going on. Okay? I didn't feel threatened. No worries. They asked me if I wanted to go to the beach. I'm like, well, I don't have a bathing suit. So they're like, well, you can buy one on La Strada. So the kiosks, the vendors on the path, the paved path next to Monterosso. Monterosso, weird. They never noticed. Being from Italy, they've got this ledge of this man carved, holding it, jutting into the sea, okay? This man holding this ledge, and it's carved, and it's massive, it's huge, and they're from Italy, okay? You must go to Monterosso Beach, plenty of times to pick up chicks, to put them in their BMW or something, okay? And I remarked on it, and it's like they looked at it and they're like, they never noticed it. I'm like, that's so weird. It was funny. It was funny and harmless. So I purchased some little boy trunks, and I kept my own top on, and we got in the ocean, and they had a nice tan, which might just be Italian skin. I was always amazed that Italians have, well, the men primp a lot, and I might even think more than the women. So I had shorts, tank top, gold chain, perfectly manicured nails, just clean shaven, everything in place. Sporty little sandals, perfect little casual fare for loafing around in town, the cafe, going to the beach, getting in the sand, whatever, dining late at night. Got in the water, we're swimming, and I hear, one of the guys goes, Medusa, Medusa, and then I'm like, I don't know, I don't know what that is, but Medusa, and they flee from the ocean, and so I get out of the ocean also, and the first thing they did was pull out an industrial size can of mousse for your hair, and I don't know where they packed it because they had shorts and a tank top, and everything was kind of lean, and was kind of amazed because I didn't see it. And the first thing he did out of the water, you want some mousse? And I'm kind of like, well, I've never used it, honestly, but when in Rome, like, yeah. So I got my hair all nice with mousse like they did. So let's see. I think if I were to do that trip and have that experience again, I would probably circumvent it, and or it probably wouldn't happen because I have enough experience to start directing my experience with what I want and not spend it fraudulently or on distractions that I know aren't going to serve me. So I wouldn't be as whimsical. First time over in Italy, I was whimsical. I wanted the experience as it presented itself. And, you know, I didn't feel threatened, so. All right, I'm starting my video again, so I'll catch up. Caramelized cheddar onion cheese. We're getting this started. I tried it with a little wafer of 34 crisp toasted onion, which I like very much. And now I need something to support the weight of artichoke spinach hummus. So I'm choosing Wasa Thins sesame and sea salt. Another sturdy option is always Mary's original crackers. They're very seedy, and I want to say barley. I always like to have the rosemary because Carr's rosemary is great to break them up, and I like to then roll it in goat cheese and then lightly fry it to put it on a asparagus and beet salad with a lemon shallot dressing. What else? Yes, working on my red pepper. All right, probably enough video. Go just straight to earth cam. I get to own your back. You gave it up. Favor, flavor. Favor, flavor. Red head. RHEAD. Watermelon. Don't need an H with that W. You've got a watt. Okay, see the light. WHATER. Don't need a hater if you can see in the light. Watt. WAT/THER. THER. E.